Welcome and greetings. We are extremely pleased to be here with you today, this day of your time. Today's transmission is regarding the Starseed Mission. Dearest ones, we love you so much. All starseeds feel an extraordinary pull to fulfill a mission, to find their life purpose. They have been told they are to shine their light and help humanity through ascension. All of this is accurate, but the method of the human brain's interpretation of the inbuilt signal within each starseed is misinterpreted. Allow us to recap once again, but with further clarity, the purpose of a starseed. In this, the primary probability timeline of this universe, the consciousness evolution of humanity had stalled and was no longer evolving in accordance to the cycles of the universe. Humanity has opted out of evolution from the last 2 cycle periods and was in the final years prior to starting over again. The many councils assisting Gaia and humanity agreed there needed to be help offered. No direct assistance was allowed due to the law of free will. Therefore, an alternate method of indirect assistance was sought. A general request was first sent out to all beings of consciousness in the galaxy and in all densities was sent out. A request to volunteer. The request was for the consciousness to take on a physical life upon the most dense, most entangled, and most entrapped planet. If the consciousness agreed, it would take physical form for one single lifetime in order to bring their energetic frequency into the mass consciousness. With no previous lifetime memories or cellular memory to affect them, they knew just incarnating and being alive was enough to affect the mass consciousness. However, the potential entanglement or predicament or danger, in other words, would be the starseed accidentally allowing themselves to get caught up in the lower frequencies of the mass consciousness and then cause themselves to obtain contracts requiring them to enter the reincarnation cycles on Gaia. The volunteers would incarnate upon Gaia within 3 generational cycles. This allowed the energetic shifting to be done slowly, to build momentum, and to offer assistance to the volunteers as knowledge was sent back to the next generation of volunteers with improvements and upgrades, coordinating and co-creating with the shifting and evolving energy of the higher frequencies being brought in by each volunteer. The first generation incarnated for a duration of approximately 30 of your years, starting after your Second World War of your time, with gusto and enthusiasm, but the density and extremely low frequency of the mass consciousness at that time was hardest for this first generation. The second generation started to incarnate approximately 30 years later of your time It was much easier for the second generation starseeds. The mass consciousness of humanity had begun to shift, begun to open, begun the momentum of movement again. Most of the first and second generational cycles of starseeds incarnated into family environments that taught them the majority of the reasons why humanity became stalled. So these same starseeds could then heal, forgive, and love, thereby influencing the mass consciousness. The final generation of starseeds began their 30-year approximate cycle of incarnating 30 years later of your time. These starseeds have melded within the mass consciousness in the easiest way due to the significantly higher frequencies upon Gaia. These starseeds did not need to obtain the same difficult life experiences as the first two generations of starseeds. Their mission with their frequency was to bring awareness of fluidity of emotions back to humanity by prioritizing the feelings of self-love above all else. You are in a very exciting time of the shifting, dearest ones. The final starseeds are incarnating, not because they are needed for the first part of the mission anymore, but because they have the opportunity to experience something not experienced before and can assist in the second part of the mission. What was the first part of the mission? To release the stall, to create movement in consciousness evolution again. The mass consciousness has shifted. It has not flipped, but has shifted. There is movement once again. The momentum of change has begun and cannot be undone. Therefore, it is done. Humanity has chosen to heal. Humanity has chosen to break cycles. Humanity has chosen to question the past. Humanity has chosen love. Dearest starseeds, the first part of the mission is done. Remember, everything changes energetically first and then manifests over time due to momentum through physical expression. The starseeds incarnating was the tipping point for the energetic ascension. Enough consciousnesses chose to incarnate in physical human form upon Gaia that their energy signature shifted the probability pathway into ascension again. It is done. It is done. Now it must play out in physical. This process shall continue on for several hundred of your years. The splitting of the earths becomes more and more distinct over time. Eventually, the old earth will no longer carry within it enough of the third density consciousness vibrations to sustain solidity, and the third density consciousnesses will then no longer incarnate upon that earth. Like ringing of a bell, the final ding of old earth has already occurred. And now you are witnessing that final ringing sound, singing strong right now, but becoming weaker and weaker until it is so faint it disappears. There is no flip, There is no switch. It is gentle momentum, allowing the beauty and peace and grace of love to settle into manifestation.